What's up, Familamskis? How y'all doing today? Doing all right. Pretty simple day today. Not much really to speak on. I didn't get much sleep, but still woke up 7:50. So I'm pretty tired. I was like towards the end of the meeting I just came back from. I was like nodding off in the meeting. I keep coming to. And I just kept fighting. I still got one more hour walk ahead of me. So today will be the first day that for all three 1 hour walks, I carried the gallon of water. And like, can't you see my traps already like 3 times bigger than they were like 2 days ago? Just kidding. But I can feel it in my traps, in my back. Just like carrying water. You know how like you see the third world type people do in the movies, and they're carrying all this water and shit. I guess because that's how it is. I ain't got plumbing and stuff. So I'm just walking around. I'm sure all the ladies also walking around. They're gonna start noticing like, who's this handsome tall guy carrying water around all the time? How sexy is that? At least that's what I tell myself is gonna happen. Not that I'm terribly worried about that right now. Hey girl, what's up? Where do I work? I'm indigent. Hey, that's pretty hot, isn't it? I'm straight up fucking indigent right now. Isn't that cool? Does that turn you on? So yeah, welcome to 750. Same old bullshit. Nothing to do today. There's like nothing going on. Just watching TV, fucking around on Twitter, going for my walks, listening to David Goggins, and yeah, maybe I need to start thinking about taking it easy on Twitter because I'm like really into it because it's fun. It's fun, and all these people say all this dumb stuff. I don't even want to share you on my Twitter because I talk a lot of shit over there, and I don't want anyone here to get the wrong idea about me. I want y'all to see me how I present myself on this channel. This is about my sobriety, and it's just me for me. But now since like I have been getting comments and subscribers and stuff, like it's hard to pretend I'm still just talking to myself. Even a video is only getting 10 views, 11 views. Like still like that's 10 people who watch the video. I mean, that's 10 more people than I was expecting to be watching these. I've never promoted this channel ever, so I think people. I think it's because I put sober the first time I put sober in the title of the video. That got found by people because that's when people started coming. Really, the meeting was interesting today. There was only like 12 people in there, and the topic was perfect. If anyone who saw my video yesterday, the topic today was the 12th tradition. I don't even think I've ever had a meeting on the 12th tradition. Principles before personalities. Anonymity is the thing. Principles before personalities. And so I was thinking, none of those people who were at the meeting yesterday were there today. So I was able to share because the topic was related to what happened yesterday, and I was able to share it without it like being like obviously like confrontational. Because then I wouldn't have wanted to. I wouldn't have shared. Like if there's only like 12 of us in there. It was funny. I was like, well, normally I just want to listen, but since there's only so many of us, I guess I gotta help out. And someone was like, yeah, man, you gotta take one for the team, and I thought that was pretty funny. So what I said in my share is like, principles before personalities. But I never thought about this. When you hear that phrase, you're thinking principles before other people's personalities, right? Like I never thought of it in the sense of like principles before my personality. And so that was a cool observation. But then, of course, I had to go into my little diatribe about all the shit that pissed me off yesterday. I was like, yeah, so, I have a character defect. I don't feel like it's a defect, but in practice, it can be. I don't like when people talk too much. Fucking everyone in the room starts laughing. So I guess I'm not the only one. And so I was talking about, like, how hard it is to put principles before personalities sometimes. Because especially when people talk too much in a meeting environment, when one of the rules of every meeting I've ever been to is to limit your sharing to 3 to 5 minutes, so other people have a chance to speak. So I was able to just like talk about yesterday's meeting without saying anybody's names or anything, just, vaguely making references to like, back when I was in Austin, if people were sharing twice, the chair would always be there and tell them to hang on and, just make sure other people don't want to share first. And I got to mention, what I feel like is very profound observation. I don't know if it takes a super expert genius to notice this. So, I mean, it's not like I'm, a prodigy or something, but like people are afraid of silence. And so I was talking about how I like the format when you just choose from one person to the next, like the chair goes to you, and then the person sitting next to you, and then the person sitting next to them, and so on and so forth, as opposed to just saying, all right, the floor is open. And so, because as soon as you open the floor, the main person who's going to share is going to be the person who talks too much. Obviously. Of course that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's been at every meeting like that. So if you're going to do it like that, you have to be a strict chair of the meeting and make sure these motherfuckers aren't talking the whole meeting. Okay? I mean, I know I'm supposed to place principles before personalities, but it's not that easy. I'm not just going to read the 12th tradition and then just automatically be perfect with it, right? That's not how it works. And so there are some really good shares. Everybody had really good shares. Even when I was nodding off, I was still like still kind of catching it. And this meeting was the first meeting that I stuck around because one of the girls who shared, she was like, don't be offended if you see me in public because, I might not talk to you unless you come up and talk to me first, but I don't want you to think I'm rude. That's just the way I am. And it was funny she said that because I actually saw her at Walmart a couple weeks ago, or it was probably just like a week ago. I've only been sober for 17 days, so it's probably just like a week ago. I saw her at Walmart after the meeting, and I was walking past her. She was at the self-checkout, and I said, "Small world." And like she didn't react, she didn't respond or look up. And I was like, she didn't hear me. But I said it as I was walking. So I wasn't like about to stop and then turn around and walk back to her and be like, "Hey there, I said small world." I was just like, oh, she didn't hear me. Oh, well, better luck next time, So I wanted to tell her about that. So this is the first time. Because usually after the Father's Prayer is done, keep coming back. It works if you work it. I bolt out the front door. Just because anytime I've sobered up and gone to meetings, almost every time I relapsed, it was with someone I was in the rooms with. So I'm kind of skeptical about, making friendships and stuff. Of course, it's different here than in Austin, or coming out of rehab jail, because in this group, I'm like the youngest guy in there. I'm 40. There was a girl who said it was her 38th birthday, though, so I guess she's a youngin'. She's barely 38 years old. What the hell does she know? Wait until she's 40 like this guy. Maybe she'll know a thing or two about life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then, I stayed to tell that girl about the Walmart trip, and then someone else came up to me and was like, "Hey, you're talking about so-and-so, right?" So apparently this guy is world famous already. The guy who was sharing twice yesterday for 7 minutes, 5 minutes at a time. Yesterday I was also complaining about the chair because I left because he started sharing for a third time. That's when I said, "Fuck this, I'm out." And I told him, I was like, "Yeah, it wasn't just him, it was the chair too." And he was like, "Yeah, but he was kind of doing it to offset the 22-year sober guy," if you remember from yesterday. "Oh, I've been sober for 22 years. He was telling me the chair was kind of cutting in to try to, balance that, which, I guess, but it's still like, nah, fuck that. If you're the chair, all you have to do is someone double dips, just say, "No, not yet, buddy. Hold on. I'm the chair. I don't care." Like, sorry, bro. Like, I've seen it done. When I was in Austin, there's a man, his name was Raymond. I'll never forget. I haven't talked to him. He's probably not alive anymore. He was already almost 80, and this was like 12 years ago. He was like not fucking around with these people, man. Like, if you're trying to double dip, no, dude. It don't matter if it takes someone who's shy. It takes them 15 seconds to build up the courage to finally raise their hand and say, "I'm so-and-so, I'm an alcoholic." The whole damn room can sit there for 15 seconds of fucking silence. It's not hard, it's not bad, it's not evil. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of prolonged silence. And that's another thing I got to share today is like, oh, I already said that about how people are afraid of silence. So, but it was funny, like two guys came up to me after the meeting and they had great shares too, you know. And they're just like immediately like, you're talking about so and so, right? Like, yeah, I'm talking about so and so, and like apparently they've been having the same thing with him, you know, because like we immediately kind of started making fun of the guy low key a little bit, you know. Which hey, fuck him, man. He's got 22 years sober. He'll be all right, you know. He obviously does not give a fuck what anybody thinks. That is for sure. Like he's good. I bet I could confront him someday. Be like, you talk too much. You share too much. He'd probably be like, good, I'm glad, thank you. You know how some people are like that too, like when they're just gonna tell you to go fuck yourself no matter what. They'll never let you win, you know. I guarantee you this dude, that the 22 years sober guy, I bet if I said something to him, he'd be like, good, glad, go fuck yourself. You know, like, so it would not matter. He's just fine, guys, okay? So, but it was just kind of funny. So yeah, I'm freaking tired. And I'm freaking gonna go walk again for another hour. I've got this whole circuit down. Like, I don't even need to time it. Because it's either takes an hour or like an hour and 5 minutes. So it's like, I don't have to look at my watch and see how long I've been walking and shit. And at some point I'm gonna, you know, well, I'll probably just keep it where I'm at right now, doing 3 1-hour walks a day with the gallon of water jugs. Because of course, my main goal is to get a job and, you know, preferably a full-time job, because if it's a part-time job, I'm going to have to look for another job because I'm going to need enough money. So once I get the job, my main goal will be to not pussy out of walking to where I can at least make myself walk for at least 1 hour a day no matter what. Because last time I was sober and jobless in 2024, I was going to the gym every day, donating plasma twice a week because that's the max. As soon as I got my full-time job, all that shit fell off. Stopped going to the gym, stopped donating. And, you know, very unwisely, I got a job somewhere that I had worked before and knew people there who had access to, you know, weed and pills. And so I immediately, as soon as I got my paycheck, I was already back drinking, smoking weed, and eventually, you know, had the guts to ask a coworker about meth, and sure enough, yes, you know, and so that turned into a whole fucking 10-month-long adventure. And so this time, I'm gonna find a job somewhere with people who don't fucking know me, and I'm not gonna tell them about myself, about my past, because I have this oversharing problem. And I don't like oversharing. I need to stop doing it. I used to think it meant that I was cool, you know, that, you know, I was trying to convey to people that they can trust me. Like, look, I'm telling you this, like, so you can trust me, because I mean, look how trusting I am that I would tell you this. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking subconsciously, but I feel like oversharing is like a form of manipulation, almost. It's like, hey, I told you all this stuff. You have to like me. How can you not like me? I told you my stuff. You know, it's like, it's totally like surface level like manipulation. That was another thing someone was sharing in the meeting today too, about like, you know, you're not like supposed to do your 4-step in a meeting. Like, that's why you get sponsors and stuff. You're not supposed to just put all your most deepest, darkest, you know, sordid stuff out there in a meeting. And I relate to that too, because that's even happened to me, like, just in regular life, working at the damn cash register. And it's like, how are you doing today? And they're like, oh, well, you know, I caught my wife cheating on me. Yeah, I punched a hole in my wall. I'm like, John, goddamn, dude, why are you telling me that, bro? Please don't tell me that. Or like, the time I was at the cash register and my truck had broke down that day. I was like, yeah, man, my truck died today. And this dude told me, yeah, my mom died today. I swear to God, it's a true story. The biggest one up anyone's ever done on me. Like, man, my truck died on the way to work. And he's like, yeah, man, my mom died this morning. Like, how can you top that? That is the biggest one up of all time. I didn't really think I was gonna get 15 minutes out of this video today. All right, buddies. Much love. Take it easy.